Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paul and I'm here to help you evolve your awareness. And today I'm going to be talking about self-image. Self-image is very important to you if you are trying to live a fuller, more grateful life and a more abundant life, because your self-image determines your entire reality. Your self-image is a picture that you hold of yourself to be true. You believe it with your whole heart. And whatever that image is what you manifest in real life. So, for example, if you believe that you are overweight deep down inside, you hold a self-conscious belief that that's who you are exactly. And unless you change that belief, nothing you do is going to change. You can even jump into action and decide, okay, I'm overweight, I don't like this picture that I have of myself, so I'm gonna start a diet. It's a conscious thought. So you start your diet and you stop eating fat, you stop eating chocolate, you stop eating like all those things that make you fat, and you see results because you're cutting it out. But then it's not sustainable, because like after a little bit of time goes by, you either fall off your diet and then you realize that all of your weight has come back or more. And that's because you haven't changed that picture that you hold within. You haven't changed that. It's also a paradigm. You haven't changed your paradigm. So what you believe to be true about yourself does dictate your entire reality. So you need to, in order to change it, you have to begin to think more positive thoughts about yourself. Like, you just have to be more kind to yourself. And if you spend more time focusing on the positive things about your life and not the negative things about your life, you're gonna then, in return, with the law of attraction, receive more of those. Because the law of attraction is not really like, I want this and you're gonna get it. So I'm gonna attract it. No, it's more like I attract what I am. And for me, you're looking at me like, oh, you're 55-pound dude. Like, what do you know about overweight? Well, what I know about overweight is that I was an overweight adolescent, and from like 11 years old all the way up until like 18, like I was definitely obese. And that had to do with self-image issues, I grew up in a rural community, small town. I was awkward and gay, and it's small town life. I was a kid in the early 90s, so life wasn't as open as it is now. And I did hear those words that, a lot of gay kids hear growing up, you're a girl, you're a faggot, da-da-da-da-da. Pansy, fairy, queer, all of them. And if you don't have like self-love, then you take all of those words that you hear and you hold them to be true, and you add that into your collective consciousness, and you add that into your paradigm or your self-image picture, and you create this bad version of yourself in a sense. And you're just doing what you know how to do. And a lot of people aren't taught self-love. I wasn't, so I had to teach myself. And it's so easy to be negative, it's so incredibly easy in this society to be a negative person. It's embraced, it's cherished. You indulge in gossip, and so many other people do it, so it's so easy. It's not like it's hard, but to find people who are positive like you, they're unfortunately a little few and far between. So I'm going to read something that Earl Nightingale said. I really like him. He was about self-help. He's the one who inspired Bob Proctor, who inspired millions, including me, from the movie The Secret. But Earl Nightingale said, "Your self-image is formed from past experiences, our success, our failure, our humiliations, and triumphs. It determines how we interpret other people's reactions to us, our feelings, our thoughts, and our abilities. We are the person we believe us to be." So, with that being said, it's everything. It's all of the things in your life that you've ever experienced that get like lumped up together to create this image of yourself. And when I was overweight and I'm taking all of these words and I'm, subconsciously growing this forest of like disgust, bad, and grotesquely obese and all of that stuff, you you can't help but believe it to be true. And that's exactly what happened to me. So it was about 11 years old. So I'm thinking that, because I was really skinny growing up as like a little kid. And it wasn't until, I hit middle school. So I'm thinking that it was that change in like my society's life, like I'm not in elementary school anymore, I'm in middle school, so like I'm this little kid and like there's like, young adults in the 8th grade, 16-year-olds, some of them, which they shouldn't be, but nonetheless, like those are the big kids. So there's like a lot of pressure on you growing up. And I didn't know how to socialize well. And I didn't pull good grades. And I wasn't on any sports teams. Being big, I was always picked last in gym class. So all that stuff does like take a toll on you when you're a kid. And then you go home and you hear it from home. You don't get that support at home for some of us, like me. And it just exacerbates the whole thing. And you start just actually living it. And it wasn't until like I became like an adult myself where I started like to change that. And my self-image is what I am today. You have to pay attention to the conversations in your head. You have to pay attention to the thoughts that come across. Not all the thoughts that come across your mind are yours, and you have to know that. They just come, and it's how you view them. Instead of being negative or positive, you can also be indifferent about some of these thoughts. So if you have not figured out why you are living the way that you're living, you have to start looking within to find the answers. All the answers that you ever need to your life are within. You just have to ask and be patient and trust the process, and the answers will come to you. You have to have an open mind. The universe always wants to deliver you gifts. You have to know that. And when I say universe, like I say before, like you use whatever makes you comfortable. If that is God, then you use God. If you use universe, then you use universe. You use whatever it is that makes you feel more comfortable in whatever you believe in. Because you have to believe in this stuff for it to work. Because if you have this belief that this isn't going to work, then your wish will come true. None of this will work. But if you believe this to be true, your wish will come true and all of it will work. And that's how it's working for me. In order to get the self-image that you desire, that's a more positive one, there's some things that you have to monitor. You have to check out who you're hanging out with, because your vibe attracts your tribe. And if you don't like the tribe that you're in, it's okay, you can change it, but you have to make space for the new friends to come in. So unfortunately that means letting go of the friends who don't serve you. The friends who are negative disposition, friends who gossip, and friends who are just nasty. You don't need those people in your life. And with the law of sacrifice, one of the 11 laws of the universe, you have to part with something of a lower vibration to receive something of a higher vibration. And your friends that are in your current situation that you're not fully loving, that would be the lower vibration. And after you remove that, you make way for the friends of a higher vibration, because after you've let them go, you've stepped forward, and your mind and soul now know that you're ready for the next thing because you've let go of the old. And then you can make way for the new. And those new friends are going to be in a higher vibration, and they're going to embrace who you are as a person, and they're going to love you for who you are. And those are the type of friendships that you need, because they build you, they make you stronger, they make you desire, they make you persevere, they make you continue doing what you want to do, because they're there to help you as a person. They're not superficial, and only like you because you're beautiful, or like you because you have like some attribute, physical attribute about you that they like. You have to go for friends who just really love you, and usually they're beautiful too, because self-love just radiates out beauty, because just smiling makes people so much happier around you. You have to make sure you know where your attention is going, because wherever your attention is where your energy flows, and energy in motion is your emotion. So you have to make sure you're monitoring where your attention is going, because that is key to finding out what resonates with you and what doesn't resonate with you. You have to find things that like make you the better version of yourself, because we're all put here to live our best versions of ourselves. We are given all the creative faculties that we need. There's an old man, I don't know who it was on an inspirational video that I watched. And when he died, right before he died, he told his wife, he was an old man, he told her, when you lift your head off the pillow in the morning, you have everything that you need. And that like moved me. Everything that you do need is up here. All of the answers that you need are up in your mind. Everything that you desire in life starts with your mind, because everything that's in the physical world did once begin in someone's imagination. And you can always begin wherever you are, no matter where you are, and you can start to manifest the things that you want in life. And a self-image is one of them. And you just have to make sure that you figure out what it is that makes you believe you are these negative things. If you're in like a positive vibration and you have this positive mental image and you like the way you look, that's awesome, because everybody needs to feel that. But for those of you who are not, you need to find out what those limiting beliefs, those beliefs of lack that you have deep inside that make you feel inadequate, make you feel insecure, because there is no perfection. There's only perfect imperfection. And you need to find out what they are and find the opposite affirmation and strengthen your well-being through that. That's what you have to do. Oh, did you get a visit from my cat Tabitha? Oh, I'm recording. Anyways, with that being said, just love yourself. And self-love does so much for yourself. Waking up in the morning and starting your day with gratitude sets you into a higher vibration. And if you leave yourself time in the morning to do things that you enjoy to do, you enjoy doing, that like makes you feel even better and moving. And if you continuously do this, you can't help but to find yourself falling in love with yourself and being happy with yourself, because you're setting little goals and you're completing them, and that dopamine in your brain that's released when you do something that you like, that's a reward, and it's natural and it's good. And give it time. It's usually 21 days, make or break a habit. So by doing these little exercises of monitoring your thoughts, focusing on the positive things that you have about yourself, and affirming the positive things that you have about yourself, and just releasing the negative. Not thinking, no, not this, but just thinking, I am this. And you got to remember, I am is the two most powerful words in the universe. Ralph Smart says that. I'm sure other people say it. I truly believe it. But I am, and anything after that, you become. You believe everything you say. I am. Think about that. All you gotta do is just shift what you say about yourself, and you will find the positive results in life. So, with that being said, guys, give me a thumbs up if you like it, comment below, so that way I know what you like, what you don't like, let me know, and I'll answer your questions. And make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, so that way you get all my notifications. I'm going to be doing these types of videos more and more. So thanks, guys. Love you guys. 18 subscribers. Goal is 100. I know we're going to get there. Bye, guys.